Ice. I don't see that. That's too scary. Afternoon, good evening, and good night, whatever it may be. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Let me get this shared out to a couple pages. Not sure what we're going to talk about today. Looking at a lot of things. I was having some fun looking at Mars anomalies. I love looking at Mars anomalies. Fun because it triggers people, and it's funny to me. You look at them, they're like, is that really on Mars? You got the other people, oh, they're making it up. Geology makes weird shapes. Yeah, it does. I always kind of stick to one basic rule. I didn't fall asleep in history class. I stayed awake. I was one of the wakers, boy. I would sleep the hell out of some English. I know I got English teacher friends that are gonna be mad at this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I would sleep, I'd get my rest in, well, I tried to in math. My father was a mathematician. I used to get in a lot of trouble. He called my math teacher every year. So I didn't get too much sleep in math. What else did I sleep in? I slept in health. I got some good sleep in health. I did not sleep in history. I enjoyed history. History was important. I believe in conspiracy. I was raised in a conspiratorial time. We believed the kings and lords always conspired against us. They always lied about the new land. So I'm always looking for the lies. So I found a new website I like, Anomaly Hunters, looking at odd shapes and geological anomalies that on the moon and the Mars. Because I think they always lie about the new world. I think they do. I don't know what's true. I don't know who to trust. I really don't trust nobody. I trust my lying eyes. That's who I trust. My lying eyes and my lying brain. That's who I trust. I don't trust nobody. So you want me to trust you? It's not gonna happen. And don't trust me. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't trust me. Don't trust me. We live on a world where competition. No. We live on a world. What Martin Luther King said, all men are created equal, and women too. He forgot that. Don't be mad at him. He forgot. We're all created equal. And then we spend the rest of our lives trying to be equaler. I'm like, what the hell? Y'all didn't hear the king? He said he king. That's a king. That's a king. But then you spend the rest of your life competing with your neighbors because you want to be more equal. Y'all see this right here? Look at this. What is this? This is Mars. That's not true. That's not on Mars. Mars can't have no shapes like that. Oh, Mars can have a whole lot of shapes, baby. I think they lie about everything. Personally, I think a lot of weird things. I try to merge science and religion and my lying eyes and what I think and the fact that the king's always lying to us about what they find until it's just not important anymore. Then they tell us about it. What was I watching? Oh, guess what I was catching up on last night? I was catching up on, not Vikings. I missed it. I'm sorry. My life gets a little busy. I didn't see Vikings. I have to catch it tonight. But there was, The Curse of Oak Island. You know what they found over there? Did y'all see that? They done found, because they were finding Templar stuff. They done found a Roman crossbow arrow in Nova Scotia. Damn it, that's Canada. What the hell are the Romans doing in Canada going... What the hell would a Roman? Because first of all, so the significance of that, hold on, let me swap the music. The significance of that is, what does that mean? It's just more evidence that they knew about this land. This is not the new land. This was not some surprise. Oh my God. What's the guy name? Columbus. Oh, he found some land. No, he did not find no land. The land was here. Oh, it was an accident. We didn't have no maps. They had the maps. They just didn't show you and tell you. That's why I like to watch stuff like that. That's why I think all these things come together for a great blessing. Archaeology and history, religion, scripture, science, mathematics. But people sleep in history class. That's my biggest problem. But hold on, let me change my background because people will come in, they'll see the background like, we're going to talk about the lies on Mars. No, we're not going to talk about that. Not today. I don't know. Maybe we'll touch on it. They lie about everything. That's why I'm open to all theories, all philosophies. I ran into a good brother the other day. Some interesting philosophies. I was talking to a young lady, did her thesis on Atlantis. Talking to her yesterday. I talk to everybody. People talk to people everywhere you go. Remember where you are as the G20 comes together, as our lords and kings get together to discuss the millions and billions and trillions they'll make. For the billionaires, not for you, not for you. Nope, nope. GDP had nothing to do with you. GDP has absolutely nothing to do with you. That's what I say. GDP, it's an indicator of how hard the slaves are working. That's all it is. How hard they gotta work to survive. GDP is not for you. So the G20 getting together, yeah, Trump's gonna represent us. Putin's gonna represent us. May, Putin, Merkel, all the lords and kings. I forgot. If I didn't mention your king, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But actually, they're not the kings. They're not the kings. They used to be. They're not no more. Hang on, let me bring up YouTube. They're not no more. Kings now. Corporations. But I'm not even sure the corporations are the kings anymore. I think the corporations might be the lords or something. Like, because everybody keeps getting pushed down. This is how this works. We're on the bottom of the pyramid, right? If you got less than $100 million, you with us. You just, yeah, I know you don't like to be with us. I know you thought you were special, didn't you? That 100 million looked good on that ATM statement, don't it? No, it don't work that way. You ain't got billions. And guess what? We're going to get some billionaires in our club too. The useless eaters, the peasants, as the real lords get together and discuss what they can do for their masters. Corporations, the banks, whoever's above them. Got a real problem in this world, people. Biggest problem is y'all fell asleep in history. You fell asleep. That was the wrong class. We weren't supposed to fall asleep in history. History and sociology. You were supposed to stay awake there. Your English, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to say it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Your English, your math, you didn't need none of that. Science, you probably didn't need that either because those are covered. Those are all covered. But the things that you can't fail in, I might throw philosophy in there, most important subjects. But history, absolutely most important subject in school ever. History, because if you don't understand who's going to play you and make you look stupid on social media, then you're going to be in trouble. A lot of interesting things in the news. But I was looking at the history of it, man. It's let me ask you a question. Who do you think killed more people? Because they lie about history, too. You think the Nazis killed more people? Or do you think the popes killed more people? Who do you think? Who do you think? Question. Because the popes are nice. There's a nice video of the pope playing with the little kid. The pope was playing, had the kid, he was on the stage, and it was on RT this morning. And the kids are dancing around the pope. And I think the title was something like, Pope lets child dance on stage. You know, he's dancing on stage. I don't see the same thing no more. I was looking at the picture of the Pope sitting on the stage and the priest next to him and the little boy dancing around. I was not seeing what I used to see. I was not seeing. I heard stories as a kid that you don't trust these things. You know, I knew better. I grew up in a black church. But damn sure I ain't going to no back room with no deacon. That wasn't happening. Hello, Gerard. Oh, no, I believe conspiracy theory. I was just like, you know what? Yeah, all right. Where my daddy at? I ain't going. Nope. Yeah, no. You want some ash or something? You want to have some Bible study? No, I don't think so. But then I question that too. I was looking at some good theories last night. Oh yeah, the Pope. Oh yeah, no. The popes have killed more people. What is it? I think the last speculated thing I saw, the popes together combined, this thing that y'all want to keep going, killed 80 million people. 80 million people. 80 million. You know how 80 million people is? 80 million people. Crazy. Can we hate Rand and Bernie for Yemen a little today? I didn't get my feelings. Brother Kel. Yeah, I saw y'all go on a thread. Some people still going on a thread about that today. I'm avoiding that. I walk away. I'm not even going nowhere near that. Because you know what that's about. You know what that's about. People want to fight over their kings and their lords that always disappoint. The only time they don't disappoint, the only time they don't do anything for them is when you got your pitchfork and your torch and a lot of damn people with you. That's when your kings, that's when they do something for you. You think you elect somebody and it's going to go into office and do what you want them to do. Like, that's how that works. That is not history. You were falling asleep. You were drooling in the class. You threaten them. If you don't threaten them with anything, they will do exactly what they need to do. Because remember, all people are born equal. All men created equal. All women created equal. And they spend the rest of their life trying to get ahead of you. Just think about that. Just like really process it. Process it. We were talking about team sports yesterday. We are encoded to get ahead. We are required to compete because we always lived in scarcity. Your kings are not going to G20. Your lords are not going for you. They're going for them because they're not scared of you. Now, I don't know, France, I don't know. He might be a little scared. Y'all got within 1,000 yards of the palace. He might be like, oh, damn it. Oh, goodness. We got to get some 5G around the palace. The peasants getting pissed off, you know. So that's possible. He might be, but I don't think he's scared. I think he might be a little concerned. But in America, oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. The Americans are still fighting each other. That's why I just laugh at it. And I think we all gonna die if we don't grow up. Y'all fell asleep in history class. 80 million is a country. Yes, Helen, it is. And people still worship that stuff. They do. You know, I was looking at last night, because I'm a Christian, but I like to consider myself a dynamic Christian. A dynamic Christian. I'm not locked into 1842. I'm not locked in there. If I see something that makes sense, I'm gonna go with it. If I see something that questions something I believe, I'm gonna look at it. Why? Because I don't believe that I was born. How many religions are there? 860, something like that. I don't think I was lucked up and got born in the right spot and I got the right one. Mine is it. That's it. That's it. It's locked in. 1842, they were right about everything. Archaeology, everything since then didn't make any sense. All the scriptures they uncovered and the emerald clay tablets and Thoth, you know, like all of that stuff, just none of it makes any sense. I'm not locked in. I'm a dynamic. I'm like a Christian, Buddha, Hindu, spiritual, science, historical, religion. That's what I am. I just want to see what's true. I think there's nothing new under the sun. That's what I think. I think there's nothing new under the sun. I think that we are constantly repeating history over and over and over and over. Not just from a we're stupid and we keep trusting the king's perspective and the Lord's perspective, but from a cellular memory perspective. Like I was looking at this, I know Gal is going to want to talk about Trump. I can't see it, Gal. Hold on. I'm going somewhere, brother. Hang on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Cellular memory. You know, we know our cells store memory. We know DNA stores memory. We know these experiments that the kings and the lords are getting into with the corporations, that they can store all data in the world. Think about this. Every device, everything on the internet, every database, every smartphone, every iPad, every picture, all your little dick pics, all your little nasty stuff, your little nasty with your man and y'all, all that stuff y'all did, all the video, all of that. All the pornography y'all can't seem to get off of. You get all the viruses on your laptops for. All of it can fit in DNA in the back of an SUV. It can fit in a box in the back of an SUV. The whole internet can fit in a shoebox of DNA. And this is what they're playing with. This is what your kings and lords are doing while you're fighting with the Trump voters, and the Trump voters are fighting with the Clinton voters, and the Clinton voters fighting with the Bernie voters, and the non-voters fighting with the no voters, and all the peasants fighting each other. And the kings are playing with things that we need to know about. We need to know about. We absolutely need to know what they're doing with our DNA. We could be walking storage devices for them. But I don't think there's anything new under the sun. I think that all of that information's passed down. I think the whole history of the world could be in you. You know that, right? All your ancestors, everything they did, everywhere they went. And when you go to sleep, what is that anyway? What if when you go to sleep, you don't go to the Akashic records? What if the Akashic record is in you? What if when you go to sleep, you just start perusing the internet of your ancestors? And you run across things, and it kind of makes some sense, right? Because when you start to look at, they're finding the battery in Egypt, and we're redoing things, and the hammers they found in stone, and what they found, a sword and coal, and all of these, what do they call it, parts, out of place artifacts? Looks like stuff that we're doing today that they did a long time ago. I think they found a footprint in some stone from a million or so years ago? What if we're just repeating? And when we go to sleep, we just tap in. Like, you ever do this? You ever like run into a hard problem and you can't solve it and you go to sleep? And then you wake up, you do an Edgar Casey. Y'all didn't study Edgar Casey, better study him. He said the same thing Nikola Tesla did. Said the same thing Einstein did. They go to sleep, wake up, boom! Oh, I know how to solve it. What if when you go to sleep, you're perusing? You're just perusing all the history of your ancestors. Because your DNA, what was it? I could go back, I'll post a video. Y'all can watch a lecture. There are a bunch of lectures talking about DNA storing memory and the experiments that they're doing. They put one of Martin Luther King's speech on the DNA and pulled it up. They sent it across the sea and they pulled it up. So they're doing this stuff. Very important that we pay attention. Very important. A lot of stuff is happening. You go to sleep and you wake up and you got problem solved. We don't even know what sleeping is yet. They've been studying this stuff going back into the 1930s, and they never let us know. Right? It's not just Mars and the moon and 5G and all the other studies they do, and it's everything. They never tell us because it's stupid for the kings, and this is why they kill the scouts. They'll send a scout out to get the information, and they'll bring it back, and they'll use that as power over us and the other kings if possible, because they're jockeying to get ahead, and they kill the scouts. So we don't find out. This is very, we live in a very tumultuous time. We live in a very special time. We can't be so reckless. We cannot be so reckless as to continue to trust the kings. All right, what again? So what is my take on what happened yesterday? My take on yesterday, the whole Ron, right? First of all, I got in big trouble. I got it. I'm so sick of y'all. I love y'all to death. I'm just sick of y'all. Listen, Rand Paul's talking defund Israel. He's talking peace. You know, he blocked the money going over. This is a good thing. Everybody on the other side, that bastard ain't gonna do it. He's this and that, and his mama, and he's racist and that. I'm like, guys, listen. When somebody says something good, it doesn't matter who it comes from. If it's true, it's true. You're supposed to get behind it and say, damn it, that makes some sense as a peasant. Get your torch and your pitchfork and say, yes, that's good. Doesn't mean that you trust the person. Doesn't mean that you like the person. Doesn't mean you like their party. You don't like to like the house where they come from, the twang in the voice. You don't have to like none of that. If he says, let's stop murdering people, you're supposed to say, that's a good idea. Let's stop murdering people. So I did it with Rand Paul. I got a little bit of trouble. And then yesterday, Bernie? Bernie spoke on the Senate floor. I think it was the Senate floor. What was the king guy, the Lord's guy? I think it was the Senate floor. And he started saying truthful things. It was like, listen, we're murdering people in Yemen. This is a bad idea. Let's not do this. Now, mind you, I get it. I get what a lot of y'all saw. They were coming after me. Y'all, Galen, you see that? They're eviscerating me. You bastard, it's lying. You must be CIA. The aliens got you. You cloned you. You lost your mind. Like, listen, I'm not saying trust Bernie. Damn it. I'm not saying trust the Democrats. I'm not saying trust Rand Paul. I'm saying there are people dying. That's what I'm saying. There are people dying. And Bernie, the whole first half of it, I know, I get it. It took a lot of money. I know it took military-industrial complex money. But this is what I'm saying. I'm agree with, I forgot who said this. Might have been Walter or somebody. Might have been Galen. I don't know. I was reading the comment thread. I wasn't jumping in there. I was like, I'm done with this. He basically said they're all lying. So here's the reality. Not personally, I've heard more goodies, good not killing people stuff from Ron Paul than I've heard from anybody. So I like him. I've heard more good, less stuff. Rand is not where Ron is. He has some issues. And Rand and I aren't on the same level. But he's doing good things. He's saying things that are true. But I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I don't trust his identity. Here's the reality. The reality is this. Do you think they actually have to post who they take money from? Do you? I think Rand comes from a good family. I think he comes from... But you don't know what happens behind the closed doors. This is what I'm saying. Do you really think the lords and the kings that run all of this will give us everything we need to make good decisions. Do you? No. Because they never have, right? It's history. They never have. They will never give you the tools you'll need to take them out of power, right? So get out of the identity and don't cling to too much of what's said and not said and who's taking money and not taking money. It looks good, but we really don't know. We don't even know if this is important, to be honest with you. They could, you know what, they might be doing a genocide in Yemen. It may not even be about oil, land, or anything. They could be on planet Melmac 72, and that's what's going on. That's what's hot and popping in the universe, and we're fighting over oil. They're already on electromagnetic gravitic drives flying all over. We have no idea. Nobody knows where that $12 trillion went that they just lost in their pocket. We don't know, right? Like, that's the point. Say what's good, but don't like swallow it, like chew, like just drink a little bit of it, like sloshing around in your mouth when they say something like rancid, like, you know. Don't swallow. It's like wine tasting. Don't swallow. Don't swallow. You know, okay, that's happening. That tastes kind of good. I'm not gonna swallow it and spit it up. And Bernie says something, swash it up, same thing, and spit it out. Remember, I'm gonna spit on my laptop and clean that up later. Remember who they work for. Remember that they always lied to the people that they work for. Remember that everything's monitored, everything's controlled. So when somebody says something that's true, you got to get on board with the truth, right? Especially when people are dying. So Bernie said a lot of great things, the whole first half of it. The last half of it, I couldn't listen to. I had to get out of it. Because the whole first half was important. We need to stop murdering people. That was very important. We need to stop starving. I actually got into a discussion on the thread where somebody didn't realize. They were like, well, why don't people send money to Yemen? And I was like, what? This is why you have to talk to people. This is why y'all cannot stop talking. You got to stand up for your family all over this planet. You got to stand up for these children. People don't know. They don't know that it's not that we don't have the money, we don't have the resources. It's America has a blockade with France, UK, and Saudi Arabia that are preventing anything from getting in. It's not about giving food. They're not starving. They're being starved, but people don't know that. So anyway, so halfway, I watched the first half. Towards the end, it got nasty. Then it became political. And this is where we always mess up, because we always take something that's right. Not right. Now people are like, right, yeah. No, not right. Not right, left, right, but right and wrong, right. We always take something that's right, and we let them make it political. Stop. And toward the end, yes, Bernie made it political. I preferred actually what Rand had to say, because he kept talking bipartisan, right? But towards the end, Bernie turned it into this anti-Trump, anti-right, and I get that. But see, the problem is when you do that, you shove away people who are actually listening to you from the other side. And that's why, But what was said in the whole first half of it was true. These were good things. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. I'm a skeptic. But the fact that millions of people listen to Rand Paul, millions of people listen to Bernie Sanders, and millions or a lot of people will listen and trust it. And if they flip-flop, good things happen. See, it's a win-win when you make human rights go viral, when you don't let them become political. You don't back away. You make it go viral. You make people talk about it. And that way, if they flip, then people who saw it, well, wait a minute. That might be the first flip they saw. They didn't see the first flip-flops, first 1,000, but they see this one like, whoa, wait a minute. They might do some research. Wow, these kids are really being killed. We're doing this. Bernie's right. Damn it, I'm gonna get behind Bernie. And then if he flips, oh, what the hell? You don't know. You don't know when that one person sees their kid's eyes and a child's eyes in a picture from Yemen. And then we got one. Why did Bernie flip? You know, and that's what you gotta get out of that. All right, so anyway, I'm done with that. Do I think the military-industrial complex is gonna let our lords stop murdering people in Yemen? My answer is no, I don't. I don't think they care. I think they don't give two shakes of a willy. It's all about money and control. And as long as Americans are fighting each other, poor people fighting poor people, they're gonna do whatever makes money. That's all of them. That's what I think. I think that we need the torches and the pitchforks. And until we get big numbers and torches and pitchforks, and we get out there and we start yelling and screaming, or even it on Facebook or whatever, and stop yelling at each other and start yelling at the system, that's when I think something might change. Until then, murder is hot and popping. Mass rape is a great thing according to your government. Why? Not because they like giving warlords weapons to go rape towns of women, but because it just makes money. They want to be more equal. All men are born equal, all women are born equal, and they want to be more equal than you since birth, like everybody else. We're all set up in competition against each other. Kelly talking. Kelly said, "Why does it look like the chess piece is pissing? Is it? It does. It does." Kelly, that's not what happened, Kelly. Kelly, what's wrong with your mind, brother? No, he's holding his sword. You know why he's holding his sword? He's holding his sword. He's either holding his sword or he's holding a scroll. It's probably a scroll. Says, look, it's probably a scroll said, "These dummies behind me have no idea what the hell's going on." It's a scroll. It's going to tell the other king how many of his people that king can kill and which provinces to invade, because he didn't care about them people. He needs a population reduction. And the other king is holding his scroll that's got his list of the dummies on his side that he's going to, right, because the king's always got that in mind. Always do. They'll never let your numbers get to enough where you can get your pitchfork and your torch and make him an equal. That's what all the kings agree on. So all the lords agree on. You will never be their equal. That's what I don't understand. We are the first generation. I think we are. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like we are the first generation that actually trusts the lords and the kings. Like, maybe we knew. Maybe it was easier to know when people were throwing their potties out the window in the streets. You trying to go to work, get your suit all dressed up, tie, walking down the street, and somebody, you just see like the bedpan fly out the window on the floor and just kind of walk around to get a little doo-doo on your shirt. That's all right, you rub it off. Wipe it on your pants, keep walking to work, because everybody this way. Y'all know what Queen Elizabeth said? I love Queen Elizabeth. Well, I love this quote. I love her quote. Because no matter how bad you think things are, somebody said they're depressed, don't be depressed. Don't be depressed. It could be a lot worse. Queen Elizabeth, she said, I'm gonna take a bath once a month, whether I need it or not. Once a month. Whether she needs it or not, she was trying to encourage people to bathe more. So you know what? Everything could be worse. It could be so much worse. People used to bathe once a year, once every couple of years back then. So imagine the problems we had today, and everybody walking around with bedpan, doo-doo, and urine on their shirt because people throwing it out the window in the streets of London. It's all on the shoes and everything. You walk into work and everybody smell like funk piss and they ain't take showers in a year. Imagine that. Imagine sitting at a date. Imagine sitting in the office trying to drink your coffee and talking politics on Facebook. Right. Things could always be much worse. Always much worse. All right. So I don't know. So we can talk about the DNA stuff. I thought that was interesting. I don't want to go down the whole Bernie, Rand, Paul, Trump thing, war thing. The job is to make money. The job is not to do anything for you. And until your government's scared of you, the job won't be to do anything for you. The job is to make money. Whoever's paying, they're going to make money on whoever's paying. They don't care. Like somebody sent me this thing. I remember the whole, they're putting human embryos in food, the fast food. They were putting it in meats and stuff like that. Some people say it's conspiracy. Some people say it's not. What I say, what was it called? What was it called? G23 or no, G239 or whatever, GK. I don't know what it was. Anyway, they were selling the human embryos. If it makes money, I ain't doubting it. I don't doubt anything. And that's just crazy. Well, let me ask you this. Were you asleep in history today where you realized cannibalism's been a thing on this planet since the beginning of time, and cannibalism is a thing right now? People are eating people right now. Free. For free. They've been eating people since the beginning of time. So I don't doubt that. I just look at them like, that look crazy. And I'm like, it boggles my mind that somebody would do that today. But that's only my privilege speaking. That's the fact that I live in the United States of America. The fact that I don't see those things on a regular basis. My ignorance, because I can go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee for $4, but don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's why I make my own coffee. Bastard Starbucks. They pay the farmers 1 cent per cup. No. Or is it 2 cents? I forgot. If it happened in history and you can make money doing it now, my stance isn't question the conspiracy. My point is, if it happened in the past, you can make money doing it now. There are people who would do it for money, and there were people who would do stuff like that just to be sick. Like, y'all remember back in the 80s where it wasn't Typhoid Mary. It was a guy spitting in salads and another guy's doing something else in the salads. I forgot what fast food restaurant it was. There are people who just do things because they can do them. There are people who do things because they're sick. And if one of those people get in power, yeah, sure, they could do crazy stuff like that. Our only way out of all of this is to work together and remember the past. That's how we get out of this. That's why I don't argue with any conspiracies. Yeah, I was looking at, so I was starting to say, I was looking at this brother talking about the emerald tablets of Thoth. And they were kind of explaining the stories of Jesus were said a long time ago, although his name wasn't Jesus, he had a different name. And I believe he had a wife and a bunch of other stuff. And people, I know my Christian friends like, oh my God, don't say that. And that wasn't his name and all kind of crazy. I listened to it. I don't know. I don't know if it matters. You say you're not supposed to say the name Jesus because you're not giving the right vibration to this, that, the other, whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to go read it. I think it's what university. There's a university website that actually, they have the actual explanations of the scriptures. And they say the stories are, I think stories are constantly copied, y'all. I do. I don't, just because I was given something at birth and this was a religion and somebody told me something doesn't mean the person who told me knew the truth. I don't know. I look into it. I'll let you know what I find out, what I think. But it's taken me a little while. They indoctrinated my religion in me pretty hard. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have to look at all the different scriptures and scrolls. Like another good one is a good example is Star Wars. I realized Star Wars, who was it? What was it? George Lucas did not come up with Star Wars. He did not do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. I did like Chewbacca. He came up. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Stealing the princess. Not the whole story of Star Wars. Most of it, he stole. He stole from the Ramayana. He stole from the Vedic text. He took it. And somebody wrote a book on it too, called him out. Did y'all see that? I posted it yesterday. Yeah, you can go look and find it online. The whole trilogy of Star Wars was taken from the Hindu religion. And I'm just like, they talk about half humans back then and furry people, and they stole the princess. They had to go save the princess, and they had the force. They talked about all of it. And George Lucas must have went to India and like, oh, check this out. I'm going to make a movie. And they made the movie. I think that we're always stealing. We're always recording. Or maybe George Lucas had cellular memory. Maybe he remembers back when that actually happened. See, me personally, I believe the Vedic text. I think that every 10 years or so, we're discovering more truth in the ancient texts than lies. I don't believe in mythology. I don't think I do anymore. I don't think our ancients were just crazy people who just decided to write something down, stop hunting for food, stop running from bears, and decided just to start making up a whole bunch of stories in a time where most people couldn't even read. Like, if I'm gonna make up a story right now, damn it, I'm gonna make some resources on it. I wanna make some money on it. I need to sell something, have a website or something. Why in the hell back then would you do something and write all this stuff on scroll tablets or scrolls and tablets and concrete and whatever, stone, whatever they were using, etching, and spend all that money, spend all that time etching something in some stones that you done made up and most of the people can't even read it. I don't think there's mythology as much as we are gullible. That's what I think. What are y'all talking about? I'm off running. The Last Jedi was good. It was good, Tina, and it's plagiarism. George Lucas need to get the money to, who you getting money to? India or something? The Vedas? I don't know. Then they talk about how mathematics came from the Vedics, and they talk about quantum, I don't know, it was quantum mechanics, some quantum theories came from the Vedas. It's like, okay, these people are dumb and they're making all this up. They didn't have flying V-minors. They made it all up. But we got math from them. We got sciences from them. We got, all these, NASA actually, NASA has a little department that all they do is, what is it? Dang it, I have to go back to my thread. I'm getting excited because I look at this, I'm like, what? NASA's looking at Sanskrit text, right? Sanskrit text. They have a department that just sits there and all they do is read Sanskrit text. Right. See, you know what that does to me? I'm gonna get my alien for a minute. You know what that does to me? When somebody says the aliens came down and somebody saw some Sanskrit writing, some like Egyptian hieroglyphics on the side of the UFO, like, how does somebody put that together and that ain't true? And now tell me NASA's actually reading the hieroglyphics and Sanskrit text and they're learning. They got a department dedicated to it. I'm telling you, follow the money. Don't trust your lords and kings. Don't ever trust them. If a poor person comes by and tells you something, believe that. Believe that. I'm a Bigfoot believer. I believe in Bigfoot. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm going on record right now. I believe in Bigfoot. I do. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know if he's at where he's at. I don't know if he's alive today. But let me tell you why I believe in Bigfoot, because hundreds of them. It's like 200, they said, indigenous groups around the world from different continents all said Bigfoot was a thing. They all called him different things. And it might be that ancient creature, furry thing, big bear, big monkey thing. I don't know. But the crazy people in the woods, they're not chasing nothing. I trust the Native Americans. I trust the Native Australians. I trust the Native Chinas. I trust the Native Asians. I trust the Native Indians. I trust the Native Latin Americans. I trust all of them over my kings and my lords. See, all of them back then, they have nothing to value from lying to me. They have nothing to gain from it. I paid attention in history class. I stayed awake. I need to know what the hell is coming. I need to know what the hell is coming. That's why I'm getting ready for what's coming. The kings and the lords always lie to you. And I think it might actually be worse. I say that we aren't the first generation that trust the kings and lords, because we are far beyond trust. In my country, I hope things are safe in your country. My country, we are in great danger. Hondurans, turn around, go home. You do not want to be here. I'm gonna tell you, you think of something pearly on the other side of these gates and this war, oh, it's not pearly and it's gonna get uglier, because they don't trust the kings and lords. They literally cheer for them. They are rock stars. Trump, Obama, Bernie, Rand Paul, all of them. They walk on a stage and people are like, they're screaming. Y'all remember back in the 80s when the girls would like pass out and Michael Jackson, and they would like they touched the hem of his garment. They would just faint like these little girls, little 14-year-old girls touched his leg. They faint. This is what the Americans are like. So it's far beyond trusting the kings and the lords. It is like, it's in that worship, touch the hem of his garment type of area. It's scary. This is scary. That's why I dig my bunker a little deeper every day. Every day I go home and take my shovel out. Oh, damn, we're going to have to go deeper. We're going to. Then after yesterday, oh, Galen, you have me going. After yesterday, oh, but Lord. Like, oh, God. The guy, Bernie, he was just saying war is bad. I don't care if Bernie believes that. I don't care. It's a win-win if people believe him, because he's got a big voice. When a lord comes out and says something that's true, you're supposed to promote the hell out of it. And then I always put my little sauce on it though, but don't believe him. What he said is true, but don't believe anything else he says. What he said is true, don't believe nothing else. That's called adulting to me. All right, anyway, let me look at the comments. I don't know, I saw some things in the news. What was happening in the news? Like, I always want to kind of touch on the news a little bit. I don't believe, you know what? I don't believe in fake news no more, y'all. I don't believe fake news. I give up. I know yesterday I said fake news. I don't believe in it no more. I can change my mind. I'm an adult. Damn it. Got big panties. I can change my mind anytime I want to. Don't tell me I can't change my mind. I change my mind. I don't believe in fake news no more. You know what I think? I think all news is fake. That's what I think. Fake-ish. Wrong word. Fake-ish. All news is fake-ish. Why? Because we're 98% monkey. We dumb as a bag of bricks. That's part of the reason why. The other part of the reason why is human beings are horrible data-taking devices. We are horrible. Y'all remember that when you get together with the kids and the teacher sit everybody down in kindergarten, everybody ran in a circle, and the teacher whisper in your ear, you know, the monkey is blue, the apple is orange, and the monkey ate the apple and smacked the monkey in the back of his head. and then one kid say it to the next one, and the monkey and the giraffe, and the next kid, and it's an elephant in the story, the next kid, and there's two monkeys, and next kid, and somebody. And by the time it makes it all around the circle to the 15th kid, it's like the blue bear jumped through the hoops and the dog bit him on the toe. Right? Humans, we are bad at it. Why? We are bad at taking data because we're perspective, right? Perspective, we never get the right, we always see it from our eyes. Remember, everything's wave energy. And your brain is literally simulating what it sees from wave energy, and it's giving you this simulated matrix world. So we see things differently. We have different experiences. Our perspectives are different. When a journalist goes into a country, he only gets a perspective of the people they talk to. So the width and the girth of the news is never accurate. The detail, you'll never get down to the detail of everybody's experience in a war-torn area or whatever the hell is going on. And they come back and they give you a generality. And they'll always put in their perspective, because that's just what we are. We're human beings. We suck at data taking, we suck at sharing that information, and we are different, and we suck at processing it. All news is fake. All of it. Every last drop, it's all fakish. It's all fakish. You have to be able to look at something, process it, and determine if you think it's true or not, or what parts are true, or what's important to know if it's true or not. All news is fakish. So and where did that come from? It came from, they had that thing for Facebook. What was it, in Europe? I think I mentioned it yesterday. They had a thing for Facebook in Europe, and they were going to talk about what Facebook was going to do about data privacy. And Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't show up. He didn't even go. Let me see if I can find that. He didn't even show up. He's like, all right, listen, I don't have time for y'all. I ain't going to go. He didn't even show up. But I really don't care nothing about that, because, hang on. All right, let me see if I can show this to you. This actually was important. Once again, I don't care about the data, because all the kings got your data, all of them. Your data is not private. If you want it to be private, you're just never gonna have it. It's not gonna be private. Y'all, we peasants. We are serfs. We are useless eaters. If you don't have 100 million in the bank, you with me. Okay? We have no control over anything. So they all got the data. Let me see if I can show this to you, because there's actually some good dialogue on this. There was a lady said something I really appreciate. Let me see if I can show you. Can I show you this? Yeah, let me show you this real quick. We will do a little bit of news. I thought this was important.
How are Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and WhatsApp doing? Should there be more oversight of their policies by our elected representatives?
Absolutely. So, I mean, most of these companies are, I would say, not doing very well if we're measuring them up to human rights standards. I'm glad to hear I'll bring into the conversation. If we're to look at Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the ICCPR, we have provisions that exist. We have documents that have been, tested time and time again. But most of these companies make up their own policies, often on their own whims. I mean, Facebook in particular has a lot of policies that go well beyond what is recommended for freedom of expression, and these seem to be the whims of Mark Zuckerberg and the highest executives within the company.
So, Gillian, what are the dangers in regulating free speech on the internet and by companies like Facebook and Google, or at least allowing them to regulate themselves?
Well, I think we have some risks here. So, I mean, over the years, the general model has been one of self-regulation. We've, kind of taken a hands-off approach with governments and allowed companies to regulate themselves, but that has gotten us into a number of difficult situations. On the one hand, these companies are overly restrictive of speech in many different ways. On the other hand, we have situations such as what's happening in Myanmar, Burma right now, when it comes to promotion of genocide on the platform. And so the fact is, we can't trust companies to handle this on their own in a lot of cases. But at the same time, there are definitely concerns when it comes to allowing governments to regulate. If we have in Germany, where I am right now, we have the NetzDG law, which restricts the promotion of hate speech on the platforms and requires companies to take down that speech within 24 hours. But at the same time, now we're seeing more authoritarian countries adopt similar laws. And as you well know, hate speech is not always a clear definition, and some governments weaponize this against activists and dissidents and even journalists.
Preslav, a lot of your research has to do with fake news and how to stop it. Is Facebook a force for good in the world?
I think that social media fundamentally are democratic forces. So they have democratized content creation, so they are not bad by nature. It's just that, like any technology, they have been abused. And they have been abused kind of mostly by external companies by Cambridge Analytica, and I think that the problem is that Facebook let this happen.
How dangerous then is fake news in general to our society?
Well, kind of fake news tries to attack I mean, there has been a lot of influence on elections. This is what people typically think of. But it's really kind of tries to convince people that the society as a whole doesn't really function. So this is kind of the main thing that Facebook is, that fake news are trying to do.
Okay. Aral, Preslav was saying there that Facebook itself is not necessarily a bad actor. That's not something that you would agree with, is it?
No, not at all. Facebook is a bad actor, and that is the lesson we have to learn if we are to have any chance of regulating these companies effectively. Because I'm
gonna stop real quick. He's gonna say something real important. There's a whole lot of content in there. Facebook is not a bad actor. Facebook is not, I gotta say this right now, I gotta shut this mess down. Facebook is not a bad actor. Facebook is a player in the game. They have their requirements like everybody else has. They have their perspective like everybody else. They are just an actor. I don't want to go bad. I'm not gonna say bad. They are an actor in the game. Unfortunately, there's influence in Facebook, and that's what NATO, Global Alliance. So that's bad. But Facebook as a company, they are just an actor in this game. So, but he's gonna say something real important. I love the fact that they were talking about this from a perspective of human rights. This is very important.
Our problem is that we think that Facebook is a good actor and they keep messing up somehow. And by messing up over and over again, they somehow make billions and billions of dollars. They're not messing up. This is their core business model. It is fundamentally incompatible with human rights and with democracy. We have to learn this lesson, that these are not mistakes that are being made by Facebook over and over again. It is the way that they are designed. These are centralized systems. It's not the only way we can build technology. We can build peer-to-peer alternatives that are free and open source, that are interoperable, so they are owned and controlled by individuals, not corporations. We can build these alternatives. We're not building these alternatives because we're not funding these alternatives. All of the funding in technology today, 99.9% of it, is going into venture capital funded startups which have the exact same business.
I'm gonna stop there. It was a good discussion. I want you to watch it. I want you to actually go back and watch it. I'll post a link. So they got into a couple things. This is what I'm talking about. You ever get into a discussion with somebody online, what's Facebook's right and Google's right and Twitter's right? They're sovereign companies. They can do whatever they want. No, they can't. Shut up. We aren't in that world. And that's why I appreciate his perspective coming from human rights. That's what we got to think about. You can start wars on these platforms. You can hide wars on these platforms. You can make a lot of money with these platforms. You can do a lot of harm with them, and you can do a lot of good. You can save a planet with these platforms. So this discussion is probably more important than the war discussion. It's probably more important than the Yemen discussion. You know, and that's why they take it down this right of data privacy, which is bull. Nobody who gets what's wrong with the world is talking data privacy. What's wrong with the world is we don't know what's true. We have fakeish news because fakeish news is very profitable to somebody. Facebook has the news they like. You have the news you like. CNN says what it likes to say. The little kid in line talking about the bear chewing on the monkey's foot has what he wants to add in because he likes bears better than he likes monkeys, right? That's how this all goes. These platforms will be world ending. They will pick presidents. They will pick prime ministers. They will pick the corporations who make the next billions of dollars that get rolled out, right? So a lot of things that we have to look at. You know, when you start talking about these platforms, you're no longer talking about a platform that can't be regulated in some way. But it can't be regulated by it. Like people are talking about, watch the whole thing. He talked about nationalizing Facebook. No, let's not stop. Don't be stupid, right? Corporations running Facebook is bad. Facebook running Facebook is bad. NATO and Global Alliance having influence in Facebook is even worse. But nationalizing Facebook, nationalizing social media, nationalizing Twitter and YouTube and Google, that's World War III. You're done at that point. It's all over. right? Because at that point, everything is from that nationalistic, tribalistic perspective. We will go to war. At that point, there will be all fake news. Everything will just be completely right now it's the wild, wild west. It's all over the place. But when you can process what news looks to be true, it's a good thing. When you're raising kids to process what they can trust and what they can't, and being a skeptic, those are good things. You don't want to outsource your skepticism to a king and a lord. Why? Because the kings and the lords always play us. That's why I said when the discussion comes into social media, I don't care anything about the data. They got all the data, right? And they share all the data. What it's about is whether or not people are allowed to have discussions about the fakish news that comes out, because all news is fakish. And it's when it comes out that somebody that has a different take on it, they saw a different width or girth, they're from the area, they grew up there, whatever, they got friends there, family there, or they were actually there and they saw it and they saw something the journalists didn't see, and they add into it. And that's when you have discussions. That's when iron sharpens iron. You actually start to get down to what's true. And if we can actually find out what is true at the root level, then we can come up with root level solutions that work for everybody. Solutioning is not hard. Getting the factual data, that's hard. And all the data is going to be fact-ish when it first comes out. And it's the interaction with the community, providing links and history and books and different things and data and their experiences, that forms a picture of what the world really looks like. And that only happens with 7 billion people. Facebook has 2 billion, I think, last time I checked. This was a really good discussion. She actually, and I missed her point, she had another point in there. She was talking about the how this is actually a form of farming, right? You know, we talk about, you know, we're being farmed, and social media is a great form of it, but it's a little different. It's a little different in terms of them controlling your emotions and them controlling you based on what they show you, and them recording your reactions and them driving your day. They're like herding you throughout your day like cattle, right? And this is truthful information. They were doing this, right? So they actually are hurting you. They can make you whiter. They can make you blacker. They can make you more Christian. They can make you more nationalistic. They can make you happy with it. They can make you sad with it. They can make you want to fight. They can make you want to make friends. And I think that's extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. So I think that's important. I wanted to show that for a minute. I'll post the link. You can watch it. It's a 20 some minute discussion, but they really got into a lot of good points. You know, if we can't get down to what's true, and we can't let everybody have a perspective, then we're not going to build a world that works for everybody. Right? There was another little piece chunk, and I looked at some comments. There was a piece of somebody got banned off of Twitter. Y'all might know who this is. I have a Twitter account and I post stuff on there, but I still don't even know how to use it. I'm learning. I stopped going to tweeter.com, and now I know it's twitter.com. Who is this? A feminist suspended from Twitter after referring to trans women as him. So right. Who is this? What's her name? Apparently Twitter has a new policy now that if you call someone who wants to be a woman, a man, they'll ban you. And they took this woman's account. I think it was deeper than that. What is her name? Y'all might know who this is. I don't know this person. What is her name?
Tweeted that trans women can't be identified as women or join the feminist movement. Meghan Murphy was first locked out of her account in August. She deleted her tweets and regained access, but is now banned over her controversial posts. She accuses Twitter of censoring basic facts and silencing people.
Right. So I don't know who Meghan Murphy is. I don't know if y'all like her or not, whatever. I don't care. But whatever she has to say, I think is important, right? If she is a bigot, we need to know that. If she has an interesting perspective, we need to know that. If she has horrible perspective, we need to know that. I don't believe in banning hate speech. I think it's important to have global discussions. You want to build a world where everybody has say and works for everybody. There's some people who need to be in the corner and they don't want to be associated with the rest of the other people, and that's fine too. We can build a world that works for everybody, but you got to stop silencing people. So apparently she's banned for life. She got one of, who is it? Like Sister Pat, she got banned for life from Facebook for apparently saying, well, I guess they hit her on that, but I think there's more to it. You watch the news. I watched the whole 3-minute thing. It kind of sounds like it was a little more to it, you know, so I imagine she was probably on there fighting and back and forth, and now she want to act like she didn't really say this, that, and the other. But they hit her on that one, and based on that policy, they banned her for life. I don't think we should be doing that. I disagree. I completely think that's a bad idea, because when you take people's voice, they pick up guns. We did it when we were toddlers, and we do it now as adults. It's good to let people vent, get their perspective out, have a discussion. Sometimes you can't get through to somebody. Somebody else can. But if they're not allowed to say it, then nobody can. And their only recourse is something else. That's a bad idea. Like one of the sisters asked me yesterday, said, you know, what do you do with people you can't get through to? You don't do anything. You don't do anything. Because I was making a point that, like, I love quantum physics. I love to look at this stuff and listen to the lectures, and I mostly believe scientists, and sometimes I don't. Scientists are kind of in-box thinkers. I like to think outside the box. I like to trust the ancients. So I was thinking about, you know, how you treat somebody when you don't like them. You know, how all the hate's popular right now. Hate is great. Hate is great because the left hates the right hates the left, and they embellished in this hate. Meanwhile, their gods told them they're supposed to not be relishing in any hate, but they like hate, and this is what they're doing because they're being driven by men. They're not being by greed and politics. They're not being driven by this God that they go worship every Sunday. But that's not the point. I'm saying that you're quantum entangled with everything that you come across. This is what I was saying in this post the other day. You're quantum entangled with every person you come across, good or bad. And when you hate somebody, you not only are triggering that neuron memory passageway, you're triggering that connection that you have with them from this quantum entanglement thing that nobody really does well explaining. You spend more energy hating people, you're becoming closer and closer attached to them, right? So her question was, you know, what do you do with someone you can't reach? You damn sure don't make them an enemy. Damn sure don't make them hate you. I do my best to check myself every day. I listen to what I say. Some people I can reach, some people I can't. If I can reach you, then we can have a discussion, right? You know, but it's all about my approach. I might have said everything true to the person, but it's true to me, and it's true to my experiences and true to what I've lived. It may not be true to them. So I'll do the best I can to meet them on the grounds that they are, because I feel that I have the ability to do that. I go as far as I can go to grasp why they think what I'm saying isn't true, if I can have a dialogue with them. And some people don't want to talk to you at all. And some people you can't reach because you don't have the finesse. I can't reach everybody. You can't reach everybody, but you reach who you can. And who you can't, somebody else's job to do. Maybe some people aren't ready to wake up. But you don't damn sure don't make an enemy. You don't make an enemy. You don't. Because the last thing you want is somebody hating you. And you have no idea what this quantum entanglement thing is. You want to avoid karma best that you can. You do not. I believe that the ancients weren't lying. And I think that all of this stuff is connected. I don't think quantum physics now is lying. And I think that all that data being transferred, and what was the experiment where they quantum entangled something and sent it into orbit or something like that, and it was still connected, all the experiments they're doing. Everybody who hates you still connected to you. You can walk out of the conversation, they're still connected to you. You better hope that that person can't get in top of something that you can't. You better hope that person isn't demon possessed or something crazy like that. That's why the whole bottom line is love people. The whole bottom line is you want more people thinking positively about you than negatively. I don't want people hating. Some people aren't gonna like you no matter what you do, but you do the best that you can. So anyway, hate speech is important. It's how we solve problems. We don't know the problem is there, we can't fix the problem. Social media is very important. We can solve a lot of problems in the world, but you can't outsource the skepticism. You can't outsource, you can't let nations or media companies determine what's true. You have to determine what's true. And the more you look at it, the more you'll get to a point where you can assess what parts of what is said that you want to take in and what you don't. All right, I'm gonna go through comments and I'm gonna run. Go through the comments. Let me see what we got. Good morning, fellow slaves. Hey, Helen on YouTube. Yeah, we are slaves, but not everybody, we all don't know it. I like the word captive better though. We're captives. You know, I think slave more like indicates your mind, right? Like, you know, or your body. No, your mind, right? Because like a slave is like someone who doesn't know they're a captive and they're happy with it and they slept in history and they trust their lords and their kings. I like to call myself a captive. I'm a captive. They got me for slave labor. Nothing I can do about that. I have to survive. You gotta labor to survive. So absolutely. Good morning. You didn't get a notification on Facebook? Okay, Helen. You know, I don't know. Software could be acting up, or they don't like this monkey no more. I don't know what's going on. Love and light, brother Kevin. You'll not find the truth on television, so disconnected, please. Exactly, Sheepless in Seattle. You know what? My TV, it sits in the house. The only time I watch TV is late at night. My eyes are bad. Sometimes I'll turn it on now, but I hook it up to the laptop. But it's like not them showing me what they want to show me. It's usually just a show or something I'm going to catch up on. I like the History Channel. There are a few shows that talk like the Vikings, stuff like that have some historical basis. I like stuff like that. But short of that, like news and all this, they're definitely aren't going to tell you how to take them down. Because the Kings, that's not a dingling he's holding, Brother Kelly. They got to pee. No, they ain't got to pee. That's because they're working together. They're working, and they're not going to put on their news media anything that you peasants can use to compare notes across the chessboard and realize they're both playing you against each other. Absolutely. Don't hate them, just pity them. Exactly, Sheepless in Seattle. Don't hate anybody, just pity them. Like, you know, but you know, we all used to be asleep. Don't judge them either. You know what I mean? Like we were all there. We all sipped the Kool-Aid, swallowed it, and believed it all. You know, and some people just have to wake up later. That's all it comes down to. Learn to just say, you know what, I gotta love you from a distance, or I get it, I get your perspective. I'm out. You know, love and light, give them a pound, something, and walk away from the conversation. But don't make an enemy. We don't need any more poor people being enemies of poor people. We're all being played against by the same people at the top. Give people time to catch up. Yes, Star Wars plagiarism. All creativity is taken from the soup of collective mind. I believe that, Rebecca. I think we're all connected. I think we share all that data. What do I think about the movie Avatar? I think Avatar, Anna, was a documentary. I think that's happening today, right now. Ask me questions, you might get a scary answer. I think it's a documentary. I think they're up there getting minerals and resources. I think they're interacting with stuff, and I think that $12 trillion they spent, it was for Space Force, and now they're just telling people what they've been doing for the last 30 years. That's what I believe. I think that we were on the moon a long time before anybody said we were on the moon. I think the human race is hundreds of millions of years old based on ancient archaeology. I think we've been to the moon before. I think they know that. I think they lie about that. I think they go through the technology. I think Avatar was right that we're all connected. I think we're connected with microbiology. I think we're connected with nature. I think we all die if any of those connections fail. I think we all need each other. So I think it was a fantastic movie, and it was a movie about colonization. It was a movie about economic hitmen. It was a movie about who wrote that book? Somebody can post it. I think that's what it was about. I think it was about today. I think Avatar was about Yemen. Avatar is about the Congo. Avatar is why people are walking here from Honduras. Avatar was about all of this. Avatar was about Syria. It's the colonization that we've never stopped. Killing people, stealing their resources. Don't go watch Avatar, cheer for the blue people, and then come back and cheer for the Republicans and the Democrats. It doesn't make any damn sense. You didn't watch the movie. I'm getting a little excited. I get a little nervous. I get mad when I start thinking about it. But I'm like, in the movie, we all went to Avatar together. We cheered for the blue people. The blue people. Oh, she was fine, too. She was, what was her name? We cheered for the blue people. And you left the movie theater and you started cheering for the colonizer. How does that make any sense? You're conflicted. You're discombobulated. You run amok. You've been bamboozled. So I like Avatar. Avatar is great. I think Hollywood helps us. I think that all of that cellular memory stuff comes back and produces itself. I think when we go to sleep, we're being upgraded or downloaded, or we're tapping into the Akashic record, or we're tapping into our DNA memory, and we're pulling back wisdom, and we're being driven by something. Call it God, a Gita, Buddha, Allah, Jesus. I don't care what you call it. Thoth, whatever it is. me inside, God is me, microbiology, fungi working together, whatever it is, it gives us these messages about where we're supposed to go, right? And whatever that is right. So Avatar was off the hook. I'm gonna watch that today if I find some time. Very important. It was about economic hitmen. It's about what we do now. It's about all the oil wars all over this planet. They're not for your democracy nor your freedom. It was about using troops to murder other people that they don't know. Avatar was about yesterday. It was about the Senate hearing. It was about why you shouldn't be yelling and screaming about Bernie as much as just producing the information that his past was this, but what he's saying today is important. Where you should link him and Rand Paul and say, this is important. If you're living in Germany, you should be producing that and showing other Germans that, look what America's doing. They're doing the right thing. They're going in the right direction. So I think it was very important. Loved Avatar. Deepak making billions off of Brahmin. Nothing new. Oh, nothing new from what my dad told me the same. Yes, hey, Sister Dee Dee. And you know what? And Dee Dee with that, and that's what Avatar is about too. It's about taking big money for killing people. It was about the Native Americans. It was about what we did here in America. It was about Thanksgiving, why we shouldn't be giving thanks for murdering, genocide, and eating people. Like, that's bad. All of that's bad. That's what Avatar was about. Sasquatch is our big brother. Might be, Tina. I don't know. I just know Sasquatch is real because all the ancients said it, and I don't think they had any reason to lie to me. May said, good morning. I can talk. Yeah, I can talk, May. I get to go, girl. You ain't seen nothing yet. You should see me on 2 cups of coffee. This is 1 cup. I have streams out there lasted 4 hours, sister. But you know what? It's not me. It's these people. When you talk to other people whose eyes are open up, who want to talk about truthful things, we could be here all day. That's why I always have to try to cut myself off. Because there's so many important things to talk about. There's so much unification that we have to do. There's so many broken tribes in the human race that we got to bring back in the fold. There's so much hate we got to delete. There's so much subhuman grouping that got to get in. So there's a lot to talk about. You know, and the kings and the lords are always trying to divide us and play games with it. The leads of all these activist groups tend to be selling out, trying to sell books, make careers, and get into politics, not trying to fix problems. You know, so there's a lot that we have to talk about. So we could sit here all day. I have to get my bag of cotton. I got to get in the field, sister, and I got to do some picking. That's why I can't sit here and do this all day. I'm writing a fictional native revenge. Oh. I'm writing a fictional novel of native revenge. Yeah, Kelly, and we got to get our revenge. I don't think it's a violent one. You know, like one of my favorite movies, Brother Kelly, was The Princess Bride. Princess Bride. One of my favorite characters in it. Y'all remember the character? Let me see if I can find him. Character from The Princess Bride. What did he say? Let me see. Favorite line. I'll see if somebody can say it while I try to find it. I think Hollywood is important. Let's try and find his character. He had a good line which applies to today. There he goes right here. Let me show you this. Princess Bride's documentary. Remember this guy right here? I remember him. What did he say? My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I was saying that all morning, Brother Kelly. I was saying it all morning. I was all excited. I get back because you know what? Because actually it's true for me. My name is Gerard Kenyatta. You killed my father and my ancestors. Prepare to die. It's true. Very true. And it's true for all of you. My name is, put your name in there. My name is Gerard Kenyatta. You murdered all my ancestors. You stole of all of our gold. You raped all of our women. You destroyed all of our Germanic tribes. You destroyed all of our British tribes. You destroyed all of our African tribes. You destroyed all of our North American tribes. You bastard colonizing king, psychopathic, raping monsters. Prepare to lose power. Prepare to die, or prepare to die. I'm good on either one. That's just, I don't think it's your world. You're not going to have it. I'm going to burn this mother down before I let you have it. That's a good documentary. Good documentary. We need to be coming for revenge, but we don't need to kill anybody. We doesn't need no violent revolution, nothing like that. We need revenge for all of our ancestors. But the only way you do that is if you figure out and you know who the you are. Who needs to pay for it? Who's doing it now? It's not the poor person next door that you don't like. It's not the person across the aisle, the Democrat or Republican. They're victims just like you are. It's the people at the top. And usually not the popular people at the top. Brother Gown said he really stopped watching any news anymore. Somebody's reality TV news affects me is close by. Yep, brother, again, I'm with you. That's why the only news I watch is the enemy's news. I always watch it. Whoever you tell me who the enemy is, that's what I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna, because I live in a country, my colonizing government, my kings and lords tell me that Russia's the enemy. I'm gonna watch Russian news. They told me that Al Jazeera is the enemy. I watch Al Jazeera mostly. Who else? And now they come back and they tell me that China's the enemy, and I do watch some China news. I'm gonna watch that. Why? Because I want to know the other side. I don't care what you have to tell me. I know that you've been lying to me my whole life. You've been making history up. You've been playing me. You've been farming me through social media, through school, through saying the pledge, giving me idols to worship, flags, and all of this crazy stuff. I'm always gonna listen to the other side. Whoever the enemy is, that's who I'm gonna listen to. That's the only news, and I limit that too, brother. Because they lie too. I limit that. I just want to see the other side of the story. That's how I know Russia and Ukraine. It wasn't about Russia. It was actually about the Ukraine. But America's giving sanctions against Russia. They're planning. And to me, I can see the scams. And that's why I like to see the strings. I want to see the strings. I want all the lies. I want to see who's lying and perhaps try to figure out why they're lying. Russia, they peacefully stopped the Ukrainian ships from running over the sea, which I don't think either one of them owns. But Russia did it peacefully. I have no interest in hearing Congress, who murders people all day long, 22 soldiers a day commit suicide because of their murderous, bastardly activity, and the 20 or 22 bombs they drop every hour or every day. The Obama administration did 18. This one does 22. They're all doing the same thing. I don't give a damn what they got to say about Russia. I love Russia. Russia's doing the right thing right now. Yeah, they're bad too, but they're nowhere near as bad as the bastard king above me. And if you think I'm talking about Trump, you have no idea. Pay attention more. I am not talking about Trump. Is a lord in this. Maybe less than a lord. Presidents don't make decisions. That's just a fight they give you to get you divided up because it's a divisive topic, so you don't actually fix anything. No transparency. No transparency banning hate speech. Yep, there's no transparency, Rebecca. They talk transparency because it talks good. That's why Obama talked it. But they're not going to do it. The kings would never let their lords give you transparency. Never. That's why I say no secrets in governments. They all need to wear body cameras. That's how we get somewhere. Wow, the agenda is strong on social media. The agenda is strong on social media. Helen, they own us and they control us. Marilyn, you love that guy. What guy do you love? Live locally, listen globally. Oh, go on, Marilyn. Go on YouTube. Yes, that's exactly it. Live locally, listen globally. They're playing, I'm going to quote that today. Thank you, sister. That's off the hook. Exactly. You have to live strong and local and sustainable in a strong community. But you got to think globally because they're playing everybody locally at a global level. When you can see they're playing the same people in Congo like they're playing you, when you can see that they're playing people in Yemen like they're playing you, when you can see that they're playing people in Honduras at the border and neither side actually wants to help, both sides wants to make money and just get political capital from people running up to the border, being shot and starved and sent back to Honduras or, I'm like, all right. Thank you. Good quote. Good quote. I was going to get going, but Sister May said I talk too much. Slow down. Hating a person is a very strong binding emotion. It is, Rebecca, because you know what? It's like a negative word. A negative word people repeat 20 times. But it's hard to get them to say something positive. There's something about that negativity. There's something about the emotion and the strength maybe behind the electricity and the neuron and hate. It takes and it just destroys all common sense and logic and intellect. And that's why they got this whole hate the president, last president, and hate the president, this president, because it takes away your common sense and it gets you to do stupid things, but it also quantumly entangles you with the people you hate, and it ruins your day, ruins your life, ruins my day. Can we go back to just laughing at presidents? Can we like laugh at political parties for a little while? I don't do the hate. Hate is so energy stealing. It is. It robs. I think I was listening to somebody talking about they're multi-dimensional creatures that actually feed on hate. They feed on negative energy. I don't know. I'm not good. That's a long, deep road. I'm not gonna go down. Holding anger. Oh, that's a big one, brother Gus. I don't know if I can read all that. Holding anger through hate is a poison. The harm that we do to others, we inflict upon ourselves. Exactly. I'm just gonna read the top of it. That's a whole lot, brother. But yes, it is. It is a poison. And we poison ourselves. We poison our souls. We poison our love with hate. Never get in bed with hate. Never ally with hate. When people start talking hate, walk away. I don't care if they had nice suits and shiny watches and they're a part of a political party. When they start talking that hate ain't great. Walk away. Don't hate anything. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of energy, Helen, and negativity feeds on it. It destroys us. It just rots us from within, I think. Love everybody. Love everything. You don't have to agree with it. Just walk away from it, but don't hate it. Hamster on the wheel in the cage. Yes, Brother Gown, we were all that hamster. I'm trying to run less. We trusted men. We did trust men, Brother Jack, and we got to stop trusting men. Got to stop trusting them. They're just men. It's not a bad thing, but they are men. They were all born equal, and they'll spend the rest of their life trying to be more equal over you. There's something about power, Brother Jack, we're just not supposed to have over each other. We don't work that way. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's why I don't understand why anybody wants to continue this government idea. I have no idea. It makes no sense to me at all. You were asleep in history class if you want to continue the idea of government. We know it's a feudal model. The model never ended. Let me see. Half of Hollywood is good people. You know what, Brother Jack? I think probably most of Hollywood is good people. I think it's the system that's the problem. Let me see. Nailing it with a big hammer. I try to, Brother Gown. I listen to people. I do the best I can. Try to get smarter. Every day. Scientists have successfully downloaded the entire Library of Congress of DNA. 1 gram of DNA can hold 700 terabytes of data. Thank you, Sister Susan. Exactly. Went out and found. See, this is why I love this. I can sit here and talk, go through stuff. Susan went out, did the research, came back, boom, posted. Exactly. And this is my point, is that we got to be careful. They are playing with levels of technology that are just unfathomable. And we know nothing about. They'll let us know 30 years after they do whatever they're doing. We have no idea they're playing. That's why I tell people they go out there and want to get their DNA tested. I did my genealogy thing. I say, all right, you ain't sticking no probe in me. You're not getting my DNA. You're going to have to hold me down. You can have my DNA when you pry from my cold, dead hand. You don't need to know. Because what if they're like downloading the ancestors' data or something? I don't know. What if they're downloading human history of your aunt? Who knows what they're doing? They're always up to something. I can't imagine where we'd be 3 years ahead of today because we don't even know where we are today. Imagine 30 years ahead of the 30 years ahead of that they're already ahead of today. We have no idea what these people are doing. We should be scared. No, we shouldn't be scared. No, we shouldn't be scared. But I mean, it's just, if you just really think about 30 years ago. What did 30 years ago look like? Could you imagine today, 30 years ago? 30 years ago, what was 30 years ago, the telephones, you had to go, you had to call somebody. Y'all remember that? And you mess up the person's phone number and you got to take another 30 minutes to call them. 30 years ago today, all the phones had cords. We have remote controls. They might have been on a cord, maybe. 30 years ago, I drove a car. No, I didn't drive a car, but actually, I was just about to get it. I was about to get a 1974 Volkswagen Beetle with holes in the floor. Now people got cars that park themselves and drive themselves and drones that fly around. Like 30, a lot can happen in 30. So you think about they are a thing. And the problem is it's not even that it's not a good example because technology has an exponential factor, right? So it's not that it's the 30 years, it's that the 30 years is probably more like 300. Because as every year, the price of processors cuts in half and the price of hardware gets cut in half every 2 years or something crazy like that. So technology's flying ahead. So we have no idea what these people are doing. The redcoats never stop coming. No, they don't, Brother Jack. Right, which is why we always got to watch. Never trust your government. Never trust your kings and lords. It's not that they're bad people, but they have power over you. They will hurt you because it makes money to hurt you. They will control you. They want to own your children. It gives them power. That's just how human beings work. That's right, Elizabeth. My name is Domingo. Oh, I said it wrong. My name is Domingo Montoya. You killed my ancestors. Prepare to die. Or go to prison or something. You don't have to die. Just go to prison. Dread Pirate Roberts, just a story to keep people scared of him. Exactly, Susan. Well, they always want, it's the same thing. They dread Pirate Roberts everywhere. They're next door, they're in the trailer park, they're in the ghetto, they're over there, they got a gun over there, the white man, this, that, the black man, the pole man, the Honduran man. There's always some dread Pirate Roberts, always somewhere. And half the time, they're just another person born in the wrong spot. Inmates are running loose. We can't let the prison inmates free. Like they're kids. You put them in prison because they were growing dried plants. Yes, you let them free. You don't need to be scared of them. They're highly intelligent people. And conspiracy theories alienating certain people. Exactly, Lori. That's why we just don't worry about the conspiracy theories. Just if it happened in the past and they can make money doing it today, odds are it's probably happening. If it's not to the extent a conspiracy theory says it is, it's just that it's not really a conspiracy. It's a business plan. Let me see. Exactly. Quantum entanglement that they have our DNA. You done scared me, Susan. Hold on. I got to read this. Exactly. Quantum entanglement. They have your DNA. Whatever they do in the lab, you will respond if the theory is correct, which I believe it is. You've been scared to hell. I said, don't be scared. Y'all should be scared. Y'all see what Susan just typed? Oh my God, I didn't think of that. Oh Lord Jesus, what's gonna happen? Thos or somebody? Marduk, Buddha Gita, somebody. Do you understand? That's crazy. Yes. If they got your DNA, they could be shocking it right now. Because that was the other study they did where they took the lady's tissue and they took it in the other room and they had a piece of her flesh here and a piece of her flesh in the other room and they shocked it in one room and the other one responded. They could have you, Susan, in the room right now shocking the hell out you. You wouldn't even know. You're having a bad day. You don't know why you're having a bad day. Every Monday, you know why y'all hate Mondays? Every Monday? Because they shocking your DNA. They making you depressed every Monday. That's scary. That's crazy. What if 5G enhances that? Oh, that's just, I'm not going down that road. That's a crazy, but that's a good point. I never thought about that. If they take a piece of your tissue and you're still quantum entangled with it, what could they do with that? Yeah, you might have tapped into something there. You might have tapped, that's not cool. I want my tissue back, damn it. I don't think I gave him any. I'm sure they got some somehow. Oh, that's crazy. I got to think about that. All right, you ruined my day with that one, Susan. Oh, that's why I said we all gonna die, people. We all go. That's why you can't take it all. You can't take none of it too seriously. You just gotta look at it like, oh Lord, you know. Where the old people at? Y'all remember the old people in that movie, Princess Bride? There they go, right here. This is my old people. You always got it. This who you want to be, right here. This is who you want to be. People want to storm the castle. You say, have fun storming the castle. And just keep smiling like, yep, the world going to end. We going to die. Y'all go and storm the castle. Y'all Democrats go ahead and storm the Republican castle. Have fun storming the castle. Oh, Republicans, y'all going to storm. Okay. You Republicans, have fun, storm fun, have fun. And keep smiling, stirring up some herbs. These are herbalists, y'all. These are hippies. They got it. They were smiling the whole damn time. A little ugly, but they got it. You can't let it get you down because we don't know what's going on. We have no idea because we would have no idea we would be here today. The level of technology and the things that we're doing, it's just way out. It's just way out. But if you look at the science behind a lot of this stuff, it's always based in what they can scale up. And if at the small scale, things that they're doing and to think that they're not going to take it to a large scale, that's insanity. You can't let it get you down. You just got to try to pay attention and be ready for whatever happens. Oh, Jack, you said, I wasn't even thinking about, I was trying to avoid that one. I know, they do. They keep the placenta. It really makes you wonder. Really makes you wonder. Digital voodoo, be afraid, be very afraid. Brother Gellin, that's a good word for it. That's a good word for it. They don't get to do this, people. All right. The only reason they do it is because we give them the power to. The only reason they do it is we give them the control. We refuse, absolutely refuse, because they give us pride in our birth. And we absolutely refuse to stop fighting with our neighbor and start actually fighting the real problems. It's all about us. It's consent. We give them our consent. We're the first generation of people who actually realizes that we're always being played. It makes no sense that we're the first generation of people that worships our government. Yeah, it does, Harley, doesn't it? It sounds like a Black Mirror episode, doesn't it? I think it does. Susan, you need to ask for the rights for that and get with Brother Jack and somebody else who says something. That's crazy. It is diabolical. But that's the day we live in. Then it's connecting a bunch of wild dots, but the reality is we live in the time of Lex Luthor, y'all. We live in the time of billionaires and trillionaires, and they all got technology. Nobody knows anything what they're doing, but they don't. That's why I say governments can't have any secrets. That ship has sailed, y'all. They always lied to us about the new land. They lied to us about the Greek fire. They lied to us about the catapults. They lied to us about the aliens. They lied to us about DNA study. They lie about everything. They've always been lying. We can't be the first generation that keeps struggling. We need to be the first generation that ended secrecy in government and corporations. That they no longer get to have it. They've proven empirically over history, because we weren't asleep in history, that they don't deserve it. They've proven that they always come back and they kill our children. They're always proven that they've enslaving our children. That's why I don't get it. It boggles my mind why anybody is still cheering politicians. I don't get it. I don't get it. No secrecy in government. They can't have any secrecy. They are out there to kill us. They're out there to control us. And then they're going to use us as jelly bags in the Matrix to store data. In the Matrix, that was another documentary. Now that we know that you can store all the data on the internet in the size of a human foot, you think they're gonna make databases now? You think they're gonna make hardware they can go kill for the minerals in Congo and keep doing that? Now they know that we are walking data storage devices if they just keep us alive and shut up. That's probably what all the GMO and all the fluoride in the water, chlorine, all that crap is about, to make us walking zombies so they can download the whole internet in your foot and upload it when they want to. And they can take you, big bag of jelly, put you in a spaceship and fly to other planets and just carry the whole history of human civilization on Earth. I think that is always the cheapest solution. And it's a damn sure cheaper solution to steal your babies and use them as databases than to have to build a server. That's what I think. I think that they will do whatever we allow, and we sure do allow a lot. Let me see. Choose your focus. You will avoid distraction. Yeah, you got to choose your focus, Marilyn. Absolutely. Easy to get your DNA. Yep, they get your DNA everywhere. Do you go to the dentist? Right. Do you go to the doctor? Do you... everywhere. But like Brother Jack was saying, they got the placenta and they got everything. They got you and they got... You know what? It's just... I'm going to leave y'all on a crazy thought, then I'm going to get out of here. I was looking at astrology. Right? Because a lot of the ancients believed certain things about you based on when you were born. Right? Different galaxies, right? Like we're going into the age of Aquarius now. Are we leaving the age of Sagittarius or something? Crazy stuff. I never used to believe in any of this. I thought it was nutso. But now that the ancients all talk about it and they believed in these things, think about it like this. What if when you're born, you're neutral? And based on the stars and all the solar radiation that's dropping down on a newborn baby, when we used to be born in the sun, I don't know about in a building, I don't know. What if that does encode you to be a Sagittarius? It encodes you to be a this, it encodes you to be a that, and you're more predisposed to act a certain way when the Earth is in that level of rotation and you're under those particular stars. I don't know. Sounds crazy, but to me, I just look at it and like, man, you know what? There are a whole lot of things connecting that. There could be something on it. I don't think the ancients believed things that were just completely nuts. But that's what I'm thinking about right now. I didn't believe anything about your star chart. I didn't believe anything. I thought y'all are crazy. But now I see that everybody was talking about this, going back to the ancient Egyptians and how DNA responds to solar energy and how everything's connected and related. And anyway, I gotta get going. Listen, this is Gerard. Gotta go. Love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day, man. I'm out.